Welcome to my diary. I'm Tatami. Here we talk about whatever I want to. And today we're going to discuss how there was no compassion for the small business owners who Kanye took PPP loans from for his own businesses, even though he's a pretty wealthy man. There was no real compassion for pretty much any other side of the story with Kanye's rhetoric, be it abortion, religious, and institutional oppression. But Kim K really wants us to have compassion for Kanye, even though his actions absolutely put lives in danger and impact all of us, since he's decided he wants to insert himself into politics. Um, it's wild. It's really wild to know that, there are people who just have such huge platforms with millions of people they can reach just at any given thought that they have, and they don't really take this as seriously as they should, and they often use it to weaponize against people who have way less power than they'll ever have. See, that's why I wouldn't be as mad at J.K. Rowling if Joanne was just some fanfic writer in a basement of her parents' house, like talking shit. Like, yeah, she may get a few minds out there who run across her terrible commentary online, but it's very different from where she is right now, which is having millions and millions and millions of followers and picking on people who statistically just get picked on just for existing, which is what she does. She does pick on trans women just for existing a lot of the time. Like, there's just no basis in a lot of what she does. So the same thing with Kanye. He wants to be president. He wants to insert himself into politics, but his platform appears to be abortion is evil. It's all in your mind. There's no real oppression because it's just a mindset you gotta overcome. And y'all need Jesus. This is basically his platform. We'll start with the abortion. Yeah, I don't have much compassion when I hear somebody get up and just start demonizing abortion all the way around. First of all, there's just no insight into what his parents were going through at the time. There's just no compassion for the fact that parents just don't get help. There's nobody there helping you out in the birth room. Nobody shows up. There's no handouts. In fact, if you have a kid, you're less likely to get into a home, to be approved to rent an apartment, to sometimes to get jobs, to get raises. They'll overlook you because you have a kid. They will overlook you for so many things. In fact, people just judge the shit out of you all the time with kids, right? So it's just mind-boggling to me that people want to force other people to have kids. And then the fact that as somebody who's trying to be president, his main focus is on abortions during a time when everybody's unemployed, everybody's on the brink of eviction, nobody has health care, nobody really has income coming in. The average person just doesn't have jack shit right now, but he's concerned that you may not want to bring a baby into the world because what if they're the future Kanye West? Meanwhile, some kid out there is literally a genius at something, the sciences, the arts, something out there. This kid is doing great, but you know what? That kid isn't going to be able to make it because he's not getting enough food, because he's not getting enough of attention, because he was born to people who couldn't provide that. But there's no effort. There's no effort to help the lives that are already here. But yet and still, he's up there crying tears about what if he wasn't here. He's literally here. He literally has a platform. But what if he wasn't? And that's the platform. We're to condemn anybody who ever had an abortion because they were poor, because they already had kids, because they didn't want to have kids right now, because they aren't in a place to have kids, because their heart isn't in a place of wanting kids, because they already take care of these other types of kids, because they volunteer with this, because they're into the... People will condemn you if you work too much, you do too much, you do this, you do that, and you have a kid. But then if you decide to have an abortion so you can just avoid all that, people will still judge you. The fact of the matter is these people will judge you no matter what. And abortion is just something that has been, emmenagogues have been used since the beginning of wombs having children, right? Women folk have been sharing abortificants this whole time. The only difference is the modern medical abortion is actually way safer. It's pretty much 100% safer. Like, it's not 100%. It's like 99%. It's a really high percentage of abortion that are actually safe, that actually go well. So this idea that, like, it's all going to shit now. Like, no, we've always been having abortions. People just die from them less and can actually continue on with their lives now. So I hate that he tried to make abortion his, like, central theme of, like, evil and, like, my dad. Like, we'd have condemned his dad if his dad, like, brought him into the world, didn't, like, have the money to take care of him. We condemn poor people. We condemn people who aren't, like, good parents, but then we try and force everybody into being a parent. Like, that's the only thing that you can do. Like, the womb, having children, is the alpha and the omega, the end all be all of what you can be doing in your life. And I just hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate that he does this whole, the slaves chose to stay enslaved. Harriet Tubman took the slaves out of slavery and then put them into the labor system, the workforce, which is also slavery. So she didn't free anybody. Like, the disrespect, the absolute disconnect from actual history. Like, he thinks he's dropping, like, truth bombs, but he's really just revealing just how severely undereducated he is on a lot of these matters. Like, just the nuance, the details, they all come together to create the full story, but he doesn't even have a penny of it. He doesn't have any of it. It's just like he has this blanket idea. He's seen this blanket thing that he thinks is a problem, and he thinks he's going to philosophize his way out of it, saying basic bullshit that has nothing to do with the lives the average person is leading. The average person is not actually trying to live like Kanye West. The average person isn't actually trying to be a celebrity, living in a huge mansion, just wasting money, dollar bills, y'all. The average person is up to their ear in debt and is just trying to live a normal life. They just want to have a warm place to go home at night. They just want to have a place to hang with their family. They just want to turn on Netflix and watch Hamilton with the family, watch, Star Wars with the family. That's all they want to do. I don't know what the hell they want. I think they want to watch a show with me. That's literally what I'm talking about. That's what the average person wants to do, is just watch shows with a family. But they act like we're all just out here just trying to be millionaires, trying to live the high life. Like, the average person just wants to be able to go to the dentist when they have a cavity. They just want to be able to go to the damn doctor. So it's like he's just so disconnected with what the average person is actually looking for that he doesn't realize, like, most people are just... We're fine with just doing our part in the community. We're fine with having, like, a job and going to work and going to church or doing something with other people. We're fine with that. It's just that we're looking to even out the society. We're looking to even out the playing field. We're looking to look at those things, those institutional things that are holding people back from just doing the basics. But he's out here acting like, the issue is it's all in your mind and you gotta, and it's like, dude, there's real, like, laws, there's real social behaviors, social norms that keep people oppressed, that keep certain people out of money, that keep certain people out of situations so that they'll never achieve it. And those are the things that people are looking for. But he's like off in la land somewhere. Like, I just don't think he understands that the average person is just hungry. That the average person is like I just saw an ad by AOC the other day where this immigrant man was just saying, like, the kids are bothering for food and we don't even have $1 in our pocket to go get just, like, some rice or something, you know what I'm saying? And, like, you know how it is when, like, a little kid is hungry. Like, it's just even if it's just the first afternoon they've ever experienced hunger, they will be after you, like, I'm hungry, is there food, is there this, can I have a snack, can I have this, can I have some cookies, can I have that, anything. They will ask you for food. So it's when there's actual hunger going on in your household, that's a real issue. So yeah, there's compassion for Kanye, but I also have way more compassion for the average working person who he's just on his high horse calling a slave. Meanwhile, these people are just trying to feed their damn kids that he insists that they bring into the world, because if they have an abortion, they're the bad guy. What if your kid was the next, Malcolm X? What if your kid was the next anything? And it's like, yeah, what if? What if I could fucking feed my kids? What about that, Kanye? But Kanye is just off in his own la la land, and I'm supposed to give him compassion for that. Meanwhile, people who actually birth their kids can't get a lick of damn help and are being mocked, being told they're lazy, being told that that's what they get for being poor, being told that they should have saved up, being told all this bullshit. Third, he wants you to, basically his platform is Christian God is mad at you. That's why y'all got the coronavirus. That's why y'all suffering. If only you didn't make the God mad, y'all need Jesus. If y'all just had some Jesus in your life, this wouldn't be a problem. So this is an issue on so many levels, right? This is the type of shit. This is why it's like, I'm not doing this because I'm mean, because I'm angry. I'm doing this because this is my job as a civilian, as a patriot, as somebody who wants a better world for my kids when I fucking leave. I cannot be having somebody who wants to bring all this bullshit into politics, and then if I call him out, his wife's like, oh, can you have some compassion? Can you have some goddamn compassion? Because I don't want more Jesus in my life. We all been run by this Christian community for all this time, and all we have is hella poor people. Jesus would be disgusted by the United States of America, but y'all out here in your rich ass mansion telling us that we all need Jesus, and that if we weren't just being sinners out here, that God wouldn't be so angry. Remember, we read that my video, fuck Kanye, a few days ago, because that's why I felt inspired to do this, because she's like, have some compassion. I was like, was I being compassionate? I can't be compassionate. This is politics. He wants to jump into politics. I'm sorry, but you can no longer use bipolar disorder as your excuse when you get into people's lives and you're getting into a situation where people are going to be discriminated against. If you eliminate abortions, they don't go down. They just get a lot more dangerous, and people just start dying from them, and we start making up excuses about it. But it's highly dangerous once abortions go underground. It's highly dangerous when people who are oppressed are trying to speak out about their oppression, and they're being told it's all in their mind, so they can die. Poverty kills. Poverty stresses and eats you out every fucking day until you're not even a little piece of yourself anymore. You're just a bunch of holes and you're barely holding it together. That's how poverty treats people. But he's out here acting like if only we were just pulling ourselves up stronger by our bootstraps, none of this would be happening. If only we just prayed a little more to the Christian God who, let's be real, just punishes people for kind of no reason throughout the Bible. So I'm not even sure how his logic really works. All I'm saying is first off, I also do want to say that I'm not actually against religious people being in political positions. I think that would be a great thing. Wouldn't it be wonderful if this great American melting pot had a lot more Hindu, Buddhist, Voodoo Sans, indigenous pagans, Wiccans? If we had all of those different mindsets, viewpoints, wouldn't it be amazing to have an indigenous perspective, a pagan perspective inside of the Congress, the Senate, the White House? I would appreciate it and honor it and be so proud of it. If I had a Buddhist president, I would actually be okay with that. I would be okay if I had an atheist president. If I had an anti-theist president, I would be fine with it. My issue comes when you're coming in and basically blanket expecting everybody to adhere to your religious rules because that's the only way things will actually get better. And you're eschewing all science, all facts, all other types of people and all other types of beliefs so that the rest of us have to go with you with your okie doke. And it's okie doke. There's no evidence of any of his stuff. He's just basically labeling some things as sin and some things as good. And if you sin, that's why you're suffering. And if you do good things, that's why you'll get better. And it's just this very simplistic, childish outlook. And frankly, he's been like this for a really long time. We've been letting him coast on really smart and really well put ideas, well said ideas for a really long time, but he hasn't actually produced music that's genius, that's the voice of a generation, that's telling us anything for years, for a decade, for over a decade. It's just one of those revelations where you just kind of have to be okay with it. I used to be his fan when I was 16. It's the same thing with Lauryn Hill. Eventually, you just kind of gotta recognize that, yes, this one album was amazing back in the 90s, wasn't it? But it hasn't been followed up. And so you have to understand that when you buy a ticket to her concert, it's a gamble. It's thrown away money. Maybe she'll show up and do a great concert. Maybe she won't show up at all. Maybe she'll show up halfway before it's supposed to be over, sing 3 songs, and then leave in a huff. You never fucking know. And you just gotta accept that this person is still kind of, in a lot of ways, coasting off of something they did 20 years ago. you can appreciate the thing from 20 years ago, but don't try and tell me that what's happening right now is amazing, is the best of the best of the best. Lauryn Hill's maybe not the best example because she, in the last couple years, came out with a couple, like, just solo random songs that she's been playing around with, and I appreciate that. But the fact of the matter is this, her concerts are still very much a huge gamble, and it's kind of the same with Kanye at this point. He's a gamble. Sometimes you get a good music out of him, but is it really thought-provoking? Does it really just make you feel something or just associate with the life that you're living right now? It doesn't. His music hasn't been like that in a long, long time. And I'm not going to sit here and just keep letting him word vomit things that actually, rhetoric that actually changes people's minds to the point where they will oppress other people, hold other people back because of what their religious beliefs or their moral beliefs are. But it's often not very moral. Kanye is not a very moral person. He just stole a bunch of money from actually poor businesses. Someone in your city went bankrupt because people like Kanye, businesses like Kanye, brands like Kanye's decided to take the money, even though they are actually wealthy people. They could just sell a house. They could do, but they have so many assets. They have so much wealth. They did not need to get these loans. These loans with great interest rates, these loans with the government. They don't even have to pay it back if they spend it on certain things. So it's like these people want to call on your morals. That's the thing that has really started to piss me off with a lot of Republicans. They're going to break the rules, but they know that you're so moral that if they call you out on it, they can just walk around breaking the rules, but you're just like never going to break the rule. It's just like, come on, dude. Y'all are not following the rules, but you're here trying to point me out to make me follow rules. Fix your own house first. I'll have a lot more compassion for Kanye when he steps back from politics, gets into music again, keeps doing all that, because my issue with his politics is his political views are dangerous. They're unhinged. They infringe upon my rights. And no, I don't want any more Jesus in my life. And I think we have plenty of Jesus in America right now. Honestly, I can't even simplify anything he said. I think it should just all go away. I understand Kim wants to do something for her husband, but at the end of the day, it is everyone's moral duty to step up and be like, nah, we're sorry you're sick, but no, fuck no, shut the fuck up. Right? Like we have that right, and it's just is what it is. Like, I wish he had more compassion for everybody else, the same compassion that he needs. I wish he would, during some of his good times, give some of that to other people, but he never seems to. He never seems to. In his good times, he's out here scamming people with overpriced merch at his megachurch. So there's my ideas about compassion for Kanye. All right, you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. May your ancestors and spirit guides be with you at every crossroads.